But this is just going to be part two of, what people leave behind when they pass on. And what I'm learning is it's what people call grief. And this is why I don't get into allowing other people's, narratives and definitions of stuff to take over my life. Because if I live within the realm of grief, of what's laid out, you're going to be mourning and grief and all this stuff. But I've alchemized that to look more like it's the love that they left behind. That's what people are really mourning. That's what people are grieving about, or grieving about the time that they didn't spend with them when they knew they should have, or made the calls and spent the time and did the things. That's where the regret and the grief and the mourning starts to come into play. More so. I'm not saying you're not going to have some tears and you're not going to feel emotion, but what they left behind, is the love, that they imparted into you, because otherwise you wouldn't know what that stuff is like. You wouldn't know what that feeling is the way that you do. So I look at it as the love that they left behind, and the legacy that they leave behind is building the leaders, with that type of love that can be imparted to other people. That's what the legacy is. It's not so much what they're building then, it's what's being left behind that you get to be a part of, that you get to, you're the one that is continuing on something that was built way back here, throughout, their whole life. And then it just gets imparted to you, and then you get to share it with other people. And I left off at on number 4 on this, which was celebrate the memories of the loved ones who've passed by examples they left you. That's how you memorialize. That's how you leave tribute. That's what a tribute is by the way that you carry on the examples that they left within you. And the memory is not a monument. It's an instruction. Live it. Don't just visit it. That's why it's there. It's a constant reminder. You have all these memories. You have all these instructions that they left behind, that they left you. You know what I'm saying? When my dad left, I wanted to be sadder than I actually was, because we did all we could together. And see, I'll get to that right now. Since you said that, I'll just go ahead and skip it. I'll go back up and say this, because this is something I already went over. But this is what happens when you max out the time with people. There's definitely less pain when you have maxed out your time with people before they departed. Regret is not about death. It's about the calls you did not make while they were alive. Time spent with someone is not sentiment. It is insurance against future grief. So that's what you're saying in a sense. Like, you spend all this time together, and it's not so much that you're sad. It's the love and the connection and all that stuff. It's what I talked about in the first live. That's what we're really, in mourning over. It's the love. But whenever you maxed out your time with somebody, you don't grieve like somebody else that didn't, because you got to be a part of it in such a way where you know them more intimately. You have more of their mannerisms, what they say, because you maxed out the time with them. So people that max out their time with people before they depart definitely have less grief, what you would call grief. And that's why I got the peace you feel now is the interest on time you invested then. Because you invested all that time with them then. So now it brings you more peace instead of all this grief and mourning. And it's more love filled. It's more of appreciation. It's you get to carry on the legacy that they left behind. The bits and pieces and the essences that they left behind, you get to live out. And now you're a part of their legacy. And like I said in this last live, the person that just passed was instrumental in my life. The last 22 years. He was the closest thing I ever had to a dad, mentor, everything. When you realize it is still existing through you, it is even more difficult to grieve. Exactly. It's real difficult to grieve in that manner. But there are going to be people. This guy was a track coach for over 30 years at Park College. He was a pastor for a church for over 35, 40 years. He's instrumental in helping build people's lives, because he was more of a coach than anything. I'm telling you, he was a life coach. And like he lived it out with discipline and consistency right before people's eyes that left people no excuse. You know, so whenever I say like be a prepared person in a prepared place, that's his saying. Like, but when I say it and I'll break that down to people, that's just him living through me. They think it's me, but like it's really just him in all sorts of different ways. Because the man battled cancer. They told him he was going to have freaking 5 to 6 years to live. 30 years later, he died. You know what I'm talking about? And he was there doing the same thing, teaching and showing and being an example the whole way through. So it's like when you have that kind of just discipline and consistency that you get to see on display, just like the same way my uncle, I got to learn like work ethic because of him. I got to see it in action, no matter what. Like, cause he came from the old school, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't miss work. That's where all this shit rubbed off. Like, I don't miss work. I've been here on my job 13 years and I can count how many times I miss work, like, you know, on 2 hands. It's morphed over to the other hand now, but like, still, that's impressive. And it's like I'm not driving and crashing my car and shit in crazy ass weather in Kansas City. But what I'm saying is like what they leave behind, you're not going to grieve it the same way that somebody that hasn't maxed out their time. Just like you're saying, the peace you feel now is the interest on time you invested then. Sometimes presence is the greatest gift you can give another person. And that's what he did. His presence. When this dude walks in the room, you know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know his presence. And you can't BS this person. You know, they've dealt with the BS within their life. And they're not going to put up with yours or anybody else's. So you can't just approach these people any type of way. And that rubs off. It rubs off on people. People see your boundaries before you even enact them a lot of times because it's presence. And whenever I looked this man in the face and I told him, I was like, I'm about to get up out of here. I'm ready to check out. Like, I did not want to be here anymore. All the molestation and shit that like I was trying to deal with over the years. And like when I looked at him and I told him my story in the beginning, like there was no coddling. And I'll just break it down for the new people. 26 homes, 16 schools, molested by the age of 7 by 2 different people from the age of 7 until 12. I watched my mom get her ass beat all the time. I was hit with extension cords, like abandonment issues, like drug and alcohol abuse. Like I could go on and on and on and on and on and on. And when I broke all that shit down to you, you know what he looked me in the face and said? He was like, it's time to go to work. He's like, you're tired of all this, like living in the self-pity and unforgiveness and all that. You spend enough time there, right? And I was like, yeah, you know, like, and like, it was very matter of fact because he gave me no option. He was like, you're tired of living in that shit, right? And I was just like, and he's like, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, good, it's time to go to work. Because like before it was coddling and, you know, of course you've been through all this stuff and it's gonna take time and you gotta, you know, it's time to go to work. And this is the type of attitude that I wake up with every day, whether I want to or not. And this man just passed a couple days ago. What is the 17th? Just yesterday. Yeah, it's crazy. My mind is so disoriented, but this is what I do in real time. I write, I get it out here. Like in the last live, I was crying. Like I was, like it was but like I found my strength. I found my stride because it is more of appreciation and the legacy that they leave behind. What they leave behind is love. When it's all said and done is what I realized. So I don't have to grieve this thing like it's this real terrible horror. They taught me love in ways that I would have never known it. And it was more by presence and showing up and living the shit out. It wasn't lip service. They know whenever you're hurting when other people ignore. They show up when nobody else does. You know what I mean? And it's not this. They just do it day in and day out. That's legacy, man. Regret is often created by postponed love. The flowers that mattered most are the ones given while someone can still receive them. And that's what I did. We gave each other's flower, man. I gave him his flowers before he departed this place several times over. So I got no regrets, no I didn't do this. I wish I could have did this more. Like, there's none of that. Because I told this man how much he meant to me and his wife and what they've done for me and my family countless times with more than this. And I'll just leave it at that. Because it starts to rub off and you start to embody the same characteristics. What love leaves behind. And the flowers, I don't got to worry about that. Where there's going to be people at his funeral that are going to be mourning in such a way because they never gave the man his flowers. And we talked about it. Like, he was astonished and I was astonished at the amount of people that did not reach out to him and just talk or check on him and see how he's doing, or just want to sit with him and talk and gain the wisdom and knowledge that he could provide. It's crazy, but I don't got to worry about that because I maxed out my time with him and I gave him his flowers while he was still living. So, okay, now I'll get back to 4. I just had to go back up because you just hit that. Thank you for saying this. I just said, I feel like I'm in a loop, but it's actually legacy. Yeah, because it's like, all you got to do is go to the memory. All you got to do is go to that place and they're there. Literally, they're there because it's what they imparted. It's their essence. And you can't get away from it. And I'm going to do the live that follows this where it's like the people that shape and mold you, because it's not always good. There's, what love leaves behind is amazing, but a lot of people didn't get love left behind. They got left a lot of other shit. And that's a whole different thing. But yeah, I appreciate it. And see, there's no coincidences. If you're new, I just kind of go over this on my break. All my life experiences, I just break it down. Like, I've done this my whole life. The first 20 years was a real shit show until I met this man. And he changed the course of my whole life. And this is the kind of shit that wakes me up every day. And it's not to be like, oh, I got to go do this thing. It's just like, it's a state of being now. Because I understand the importance of being at people's crossroads. Because I understand the importance of other people not being at the crossroads when I needed them. That set me on a whole different trajectory versus the people that were there. If you take these people out of my life and it's fucking over. And I know we all got people in our lives that we can say that with. If we just take this one person or that person out of our lives, holy shit, they met us at the crossroads. And so it took all the pressure off of me and all of my story and all the shit that had happened. And it took all of that shit that was just, and it made me want to develop it so I could be that for other people and be at those crossroads. And not, like I said, it's not something I wake up with a plan and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I just wake up and I'm me. But my thing is I develop me. I develop all the areas of lack. And then I don't tell people how to live their life. I just share my experience. And then the people that you're going to come into your sphere with, that you're going to resonate with, they're going to find you because you're on that resonance. This thing is very magical once you really start to uncover the layers of all these other philosophies and all these other things and get to the true essence of you, which is love and truth, like really, because whenever you depart from those things, you know it. And that's the gauge. You can call it light, dark, whatever, but that's how you know. It's the same thing. It's just on the spectrum. Which side are you going to live on? Love or the opposite of it. It's still on the same line, but one is to show you the other. And now I'm getting off task, getting off the thing. Now I got all these comments, divine alignment. Yeah, everything is, man. It's blurred again. I wonder why it does that. That's so weird, bro. That's getting irritating. But anyway, I gotta move on. I gotta do this. That's just weird why it does that. But thank you for pointing it out. Okay, where was I? Celebrate the memories of loved ones who have passed by examples they left you. The best way to keep someone alive is to keep becoming what they taught you and what they taught you to be. And I look at it as a state of becoming, right? Because you can't be them. You can't be the person that imparted this stuff to you because they're still your essence. All you get to do is refine it. You get to refine it and add your 2 cents to it. And you know what I mean? But it's a becoming. Grief that only mourns forgets to initiate or to imitate. I'm sorry. Grief that only mourns forgets to imitate. Honor is a verb, not a feeling. It's an action. You got to do it. It's not like you're trying to be them, but like their mannerisms, their wisdom that they imparted, you know, their comedy, whatever it is, you can just keep going and going. The stuff that we love, what love leaves behind, what it left behind. All of these things you start to just embody and imitate. We're all a collection of a whole bunch of people, good, bad, and ugly, whether you want to like it or not. A memory is not a moment. It's not a monument. It is an instruction. Live it. Don't just visit it. Memories are very awesome if you know how to use them, because you don't want to conjure up the memories you don't want to have. I'm not talking about that. The memories of the people that have affected you the most in the most profound ways, that have to do with love and character and all that shit. Stuff that we really didn't have before, you know, until somebody was showing us and teaching us, more so with their actions, more than their words. Honor those that have transitioned by living what they taught you. People's influence survives through your actions. The greatest memorial is a life transformed by theirs. So I can take, and I'm telling you, you don't be a track coach and develop men and women and create national champions and do all this stuff and carry the Olympic torch, get tasked to do that. All these things this man did, pastored a church for 35 years, fought cancer for 40 years. I mean, and showed up day in and day out like you wouldn't believe the strength of this man. Even on his way out, man, I'm telling you, it'd blow your mind. And it's not a show. It's not an act, because once it becomes so refined, it starts to become a state of being. And then it's the actions that show it. So even if he was this or this back here, all of the stuff that he built and created, it just swallowed all that shit up. And he showed so many people how to transform their life. And I'm telling you, man, he got me through some shit. He really got me and my family. I've got 5 kids, all grown now. And he really helped hold me together and a whole bunch of people. That's the thing, right? When instrumental people like this, it's not just you they affect in your life. There's people on their jobs. There's people, a multitude of people that you don't even know about how much they affected. But I do, because like I was there for a lot of it. And we met for coffee and breakfast every Monday or Tuesday for 7 years without stopping, pretty much, until the very end, when he was just too sick. But I'm telling you, man, he's one of the only few people that can tell me what to do, and I'll do it, because like it invokes this sovereignty in me whenever somebody is like just telling me I got to do something. But it was always with intention. Like he never abused that shit. Like he would just tell me, you know, to do shit, and I would do it. And I didn't really question it. Even if I did, I would do it because I've never respected a person like that. To where you have so much respect and honor for somebody that their track record speaks for itself, and it goes against even what you want to do, but their advice is so well fucking proven. Like I almost sold my house. I was this close to selling my house in the middle of all my shit, and I was entrepreneur in my thing, and I was doing my whole shit, man. And he was like, just chill. You might want to, you know, your kids might need to come back one day. And I listened, and I went against everything I wanted to do. And it turned out my fucking daughter had to move back in for a minute. My other son had to move back in for a minute. And there's all the space, and everything was good. And it all worked out because he had the farsight and insight. He's lived enough life where I hadn't. And you got to surround yourself with people like this. You did it because you knew he was right. Yeah. And there was one thing that I could say that like, I really wish, I regret that he, you know, but I'm not going to get into all that. There's way too much good. There's way too much love, because you can still take corrective action no matter what. Like you can still do the things. Every great person leaves leaders behind. Greatness is not measured by what one person built. It's measured by who they raised up after them. A true leader multiplies. They don't want just people jumping and following them and hanging on every piece of everything coming. They want people to be able to take this shit and do it on their own. The goal is not to create followers. The goal is to create leaders within themselves to be able to take this thing take the reins within themselves. That's the goal of a leader. It's not for followers and likes and shares. It's literally to raise up people to develop themselves. That's it. And people are putting the shit behind a paywall and everything. Instead of bringing your life puzzle pieces to the table and just saying, this is my experience. And some of those pieces will fit in other people's lives. Not all of it, of course. But you don't put it behind a paywall. That's just the way I roll. You know, your life is an example of that. You should be able, in my opinion, to develop yourself in such a way that you take care of you can handle yourself financially. You got all that shit going. It's not people need to pay you so they can help get to the next level. That makes no sense to me when you can just help people get to the next level with your experience. And not saying I'm here or there, because this is just in the areas that I roll with, and other people have their shit. But it's like, why put that behind a paywall? Whenever you develop yourself in such a way. And I come from a tremendous backgrounds of trauma and all kinds of shit. And I've developed myself in such a way where I'm financially stable. You know what I'm saying? You received it freely, give it freely. Exactly. I'm not going to charge for something that, like, even though I had to work my ass off for, but that's the same thing. See, people will get so caught up on the messenger as if the fucking person that's getting the message isn't going to have to do all the fucking work. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can carry on this man's legacy through the work that I do. He didn't put this shit behind. The man never passed a plate in over 30 years of pastoring a church. Let that sink in. Never passed the plate. Like, here, it sustained itself because people were they understood what was happening. It was that good. It was that good where you didn't have to pedal and beg and do all this stuff. He was like, I don't care if you put anything in that box out there. That's up to you. He's like, shit, I'm going to do me regardless. You know what I'm saying? And it was self-sustaining for over 35 years. That should tell you all you need to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, the intention is the intention. When the intention is the intention, it's not about the likes. You will never hear me say, hey, like my screen and do this. You'll never hear it come out of my mouth. I appreciate it and I understand all of it and why people will do it, because the same way I do it, I'll be like, yeah, that's some bomb ass shit. But it shouldn't be provoked. It should just be a thing that people naturally want to do. It should never, because then it starts to be about something else and it's not about the main thing anymore. I'm grateful to know you and know him through you. Yeah, I appreciate that. And I'm sure he's awesome. And see, it was so cool because I went over to my son's job because he works where I work too. I went to go see his job and see what it's like. And he introduced me to his supervisor, and his supervisor shook my hand. And the very first words out of his mouth is, and I shit you not, there's a lot of worthless motherfuckers around here and your son's not one of them. You know what I'm saying? That's the dad moment that you look for. It's in the doing. He's just out here doing it. It doesn't have to be, it was imparted. And where did he get it from? You think he got it from me? Because I came from a background of hella trauma and knew nothing about no discipline and consistency or none of that shit. So everything that was instilled in him was instilled through me. And I have no problem saying that shit whatsoever. Even when my other son came to me and was like, do you mind if I call Wes about some shit? I was like, man, don't ever feel like you got to come to me for everything and whatever. If you think somebody else can give you, like, a man of character, Wes is a man of high character. And you know it by the way, because I model the way I treat my wife, because he opens his door for his wife. I open the door for my wife. Like, there's just shit that you do because you see a man be a man, then you never got to see that shit. So you get to see it exhibited, and then it imparts the essence. And he was like, shit, can I call Wes? I was like, fuck, please call Wes before you call one of your Looney Tune friends or whatever the fuck back then. You know, he's 30 now. So it's like, come on, man. This is the type of legacy that gets left behind. What love leaves behind. And it's not just my life. There's plenty of men that this guy raised up. And he was a little short-statured man too, right? But the way he walked around, bro, I'm telling you, he didn't fuck around. And I walk around pretty much the same way. Like I walk around like with intention because I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. There's not a whole lot of questioning going on. Anybody that knows me knows that too. I'm not going to make it through all of this one either. I got to get back. I'm going to have to do a part 3. Maybe I can break this down. Let's see. Every great person leaves leaders behind. Greatness is not measured by what one person built. It is measured by who they raised up after them. A true leader multiplies. Their influence does not end when they do. The mark of someone great is their absence. The mark of someone great is their absence does not stop what they started. It just doesn't. People think it does, but it's just getting started. And you can just keep saying that as long as you keep imparting it. Like it's just getting started with that person. You know, when you change your life enough and people watch, it gives people no excuse, and it will cause people to change their life. I'm telling you, man, I'm not bragging. It's just awareness, right? I started eating healthy. Like this was one of the parts of the journey when I started to care about myself and love myself and started paying attention to my health and reading labels. I started eating healthy. I eat healthy. I bring fruits in here every day. And it got to the point where it just was so undeniable. Everybody around me has just started to bring fruit. Like everybody slowly around me started bring more healthy food. And then like I started getting more, look at my TikToks. I got more healthy. And people saw that I used to weigh 147 pounds and was a little stick figure. Now I don't look like that. And it gave other people reason to get in the gym. And like, because I will just be me and be an example. And it's not like I'm bragging. It's just the awareness is whenever you build your life in such a way, people can't help but take notice. And then it causes people to go, well, fuck, man, what's my excuse? Like this dude's in here consistent every day with this shit, doing the thing. And now it's just like, damn, why ain't I doing the thing? And then people just start doing a little bit at a time, and then you see it. Now I see one of the MPSs here. He had a beer belly. He doesn't anymore. And he was like, man, he's like, you're going to make me feel crazy, like feel bad. And he was in the Army or Marines or whatever the fuck he's in. I was like, I would talk like there's no excuse for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? And now like there's weights in his office and shit. Come on, bro. Because you just become the example. And it's not just me. It started back here, man. I'll tell you, I used to smoke cigarettes, right? And then like when I got married, my wife came with 3 kids and I had the kid back here smoking. He pulls up to me in his little red truck at the time, pulls up at the stop sign, tells me like, roll down the window. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, you can't smoke anymore. You got a family. He's like, what's happening? Rolls up his window and drives off. Like, that's it. Like, what? Like, he just got in my ass because I'm like at the stoplight, like fucking smoke. I was like, I'm sitting here like, justifying the stupidity. And he just pulls up like, what the fuck are you doing? You can't do that anymore. It's not even about you anymore. You have a family now, right? So it's like, so he'll leave you like that. And then I always ask myself this question. Is it true or not? When something triggers me, when something pisses me off, is it true? And if it's true and I bring honesty to the table, then I can work with it. I can fuck with it all day long. But if it's not, then I can just move on and be good. But I always ponder because that's how I met the man. Like he called me out in church. He did. I was sitting there like this, all balled up, my arms wrapped up. And he called out me in front of everybody. He was just like, sit up, young man. Your arms are all crossed up. That means your life's all crossed up. Sitting there looking all pathetic. And bro, I'm telling you, bro, I was sitting there thinking, I've been coming here for 2 years. Where's my blessing? And where's this? And where's that? And I was just sitting there stewing. And he was just like, your life's all crossed up, looking all pathetic. Sit up, young man, uncross your arms. And like, you know, and just called me out, bro. And I went home and I paced the room and thought about what I was going to do to this man the next time I seen him, because he had no idea what I'd been through and the kind of shit that, you know, that I dealt with. And I'm going to show this dude, like, I was seriously contemplating putting my hands on this man. And then I just was laying in bed and I was like, fuck, man, everything he said was true. Like, there was nowhere to go after that. And I remember asking myself this question, what do I do now? And I was just like, I guess I go back. Like, and I never stopped going back for 20 years. And it was more about the discipline and the consistency that he showed me in his life, more so than anything. And so like, I just took that. And then once I was past the whole church shit stuff, you know, like as far as like, I can take it from here. Like, it creates leaders. It doesn't create followers. I know the system. He did it. He didn't abide by any of the, he didn't rock the church the way anybody does. Like, he just did the shit his way. And I'm telling you, consistency and discipline, like on display before your eyes. A true leader multiplies. Their influence does not end when they do. True leadership multiplies itself through others. The greatest lives continue shaping people long after they're gone. Legacy is measured who continues the work. That's it. And you just continue it. And you get to be, like I said, a guy, like I saw a guy, another, because he's affected so many people, they're everywhere. I ran into another person and I was like, you know, he passed away. And he's like, yeah, I got the call. And I was just like, you know, I was just happy to be a part of it all. Genuine. And he was just like, exactly. Like, that's a good way to put it. Like, I got to be a part of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's amazing when you look at it from that perspective. It doesn't have to be all sad and gloomy. I got to be a part of something magnificent. I got to be a part of a ripple effect that keeps to continue on. Like, it keeps, I'm telling you, and through my kids. And then whoever, it's a beautiful thing when you look at it this way. Legacy creates leaders all along the way. Every lesson passed on becomes another opportunity for someone else to lead. That's all it is. Because he helped pull the potentiality within me all out. You know, everything, I still did all the work, but he found the potential in me before I did. He pulled it out. And there's no words that can give it justice. So the only thing that you can do is live it out. Influence grows with every life it touches. Great legacies are never finished because they keep reproducing themselves. Legacy is not a finish line. It is a chain reaction. It creates the next one before it even ends. You see how it works? All the people that I get to affect in a positive way to a large degree is because of him. You know what I'm saying? And so it continues on before it ever ends. That's legacy. That's love. Only love can do something like that. Legacy is not a finish line. It is a chain reaction. It creates the next one before it even ends. You do not have to wait until someone is gone to see their legacy. It shows up in every leader that's shaped along the way. So all the influential people that you look up in their life, they stood on the shoulders of somebody else. Somebody else helped pull that potential out and believed in them enough to propel them to the next level. And I already did the live where we become bridges for people to get to the next level, to the next stage. Sometimes it's minute by minute, where we come into people's life just for a brief moment, just to help them get across that way. And we become love. We become that bridge. Continuation of legacy is the legacy. This is not the end of what was given to you. It is the beginning of it's the beginning of what you do with it. Every time, man. Grief does not erase what someone built in you. It reveals it. That's where it's going. Now I'm going to get to see the kind of grief people are going to carry around with this. You know what I'm saying? Grief does not erase what someone built in you. It reveals it. They're not gone, but everything they gave you still walks. And I'm going to see whether this is walking in other people as much as they say it did. And as much, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be on display. Sometimes we pull our own self up. Out. Absolutely. Because see, no matter how much credit I can give to this man, right? I still had to do the work. All of it is meaningless if I just gain all the wisdom or gain all the knowledge and get all the inspiration and then do nothing with it. Okay. I didn't mean it to send that to the, oh, okay. Whatever. Oh, that's all good. But the person seeking is still seeking, and they will find. You will find if you are seeking. And I got tired of not seeking. So I started to seek and I found. And then once I found it, I got next to it. And then it rubbed off on me in such a way that I was able to change the whole course of my life. And then it changed the course of my wife's life and her kid's life and my kid's life and everybody else we affect all along the way. That job gave me my way out. That's what's up. Yeah, this job is good, man. I don't even got a high school diploma and I make more money than most people with degrees. And I know you were here. The lady that's talking, I was her team leader right before she retired. It was kind of cool, man. She got to come to an area of what I helped create and built, because it's not like this on other shifts, I can assure you. We built something good on this shift. No matter what it is shared with us, we still have to put it to work. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what allows me to run this area the way that I do. And I let people, and like I'm there when they need, like I'm just there. You know, I don't tell people I'm not here to try to tell people how to do their job. None of that shit. A team leader is just supposed to be there for their team. And you got to manage, all kinds of attitudes sometimes. And you got people dying and you got all kinds of stuff going on. And you still got, I got this tremendous thing going on in my life. And I still got to go to work and I still got to show up and do the things. And I wouldn't be able to do that had he not imparted this kind of strength in me. And I already told my boss, I'm going to be stepping aside tonight, throughout the night, because I got to get my shit together. I will be crying. I will have to compose myself because this man meant a lot. But it's just part of the process. And they're good tears. They're tears of appreciation more than anything. C Crew, the opposite zone, was good too. Betty is a very good team leader too. Yeah, Betty's cool. She's a good person. Jason Meyercourt too, man. He was a really good team leader whenever he was my team leader. He showed me a lot too, man. I won't even get into his story, but it was crazy. He showed me a lot. It was good shit. But I appreciate it. But I got to get back to work, man. That was my last bar on this. So I'm not going to have to do a part 3. I already told my boss I'm going to be late today. I'm going to be taking time for myself. Because I have to. Because you can't lose somebody as monumental as that in your life and then try to stuff it down and act and try to show up. If I got to show up in tears, I got to show up in tears. It is what it is. That's real life. When the camera goes off, the camera's not just for this. I still have to go in here and do my thing. And if tears are a part of it, then it's just going to be a part of it and people understand it. And that's the type of Frank, we've cried together. We've told each other we love each other. You know what I mean? How many coworkers I love you, man. I love you too, and mean it on that level. Because he's a father type grandpa and wisdom, and he's got life experience and he doesn't mind sharing it. And people come to him and he breaks it down in a very simple, plain way. And sometimes he'll get with you. And it's a beautiful thing. The company you're with doesn't offer bereavement, offer lunch. Everyone is good. Yeah, but this is just he's not my dad. I didn't have a dad growing up or nothing. I didn't meet my dad until I was in my 30s. I'm 47. And then he passed away right after I met him, pretty much. a month after my mom died. And then my grandma died, and then my uncle died. It was crazy. Like, fucking, I never dealt with death before, and it just come blasted at my door. Like, boom, mom, dad, uncle, grandma, boom, 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 boom. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, my story is crazy. So he's like, yeah, he's like my dad. In a sense, like, I called him Pops. You know what I mean? Like, but he was a pastor. He was a mentor. He was a friend. Like, it just doesn't end with this guy. He was all of those things. Good group of people is in that zone for it. Yeah, there's some good people over there too. But it's just like, you appreciate this shit. That's all. You just appreciate it. And then it doesn't have to be this other thing. And I'll have my moments where I cry and stuff, but like, it's not tears of sadness really. It is just the connection lost of being with this man every Monday, you know, for years, eating with him, calling him football games, and, you know, him and his wife going shooting the shit back and forth. I mean, man, come on. It's just amazing. And I'm like, I got messages after messages on my phone saved, you know, just checking on you, just checking on you. You know, there's a lot of those where he's just checking on you, just checking in on you. That's just love in action, man. And then that becomes appreciation. And I'm just going to keep repeating myself. So let me go ahead and get out of here, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. That was pretty dope. That was a good one. And I know everybody in here was here for a reason. Because these topics don't just, no, this isn't coincidence. It's just cool. You know what I mean? It is super dope, ain't it? And I don't even know you like that, but I appreciate you. You know, like, this is good stuff. And I do this on my break. And I just take my life experience, what I'm going through, all this stuff, and I write it. I've been writing for years, man. Like, all I do is use the AI to just correct my grammar. Because I went to 26 different homes and 16 schools. There's not a whole lot of fucking, there wasn't a whole lot of participation in school going on. Like, my body was there, but I was disassociated as fuck. You know, you got people touching on you, you got watching your mom get beat, and then they're just like, here, go to school. Like, you didn't just witness some traumatic shit before you went to school the night before. And so my grammar and shit was never the best. So all I do is use it to correct my grammar, but that's all my shit. This is all my writing. And I've got, before this AI came along, on Facebook all the way back to 2011, you can see I've been writing forever. This helps refine it to be able to do it on demand. I appreciate you at work and listen to you on here now too. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate it, man. It's cool. And you can feel the love. I felt that hug before you left. That's real shit. And that's like all appreciated because it's real. It's genuine, man. Like, that's good shit. That's just infectious. And it was a hug in church. That's why, like, I be hugging. I'm a hugger. Because it's like, before I was very insecure and very timid. You wouldn't know that now. Shit. But I gotta go, man. I gotta get back to work. I appreciate you guys. I'll be back at 2:30 in the morning if we don't go to early break.